our kids recite on TV. It's free. It's fun for everyone. Hey kids, come join the fun and win prizes too. Guide Us TV is our voice all across America. But now your voice can be heard too. Reciting the Quran. Yes, kids recite Quran, record, upload, share, enjoy, and win big prizes. First prize is $1,000. And the next 10 each get $100. And everyone who enters wins a gift. And it's all free. No ads, no big companies, no spam. It's all free. Kids have fun, win prizes, recite on TV. Mom, Dad, go online. Join and help our kids recite on TV. It's free. It's fun for everyone. Hey kids, come join the fun and win prizes too. Guide Us TV is our voice all across America. But now your voice can be heard too. Reciting the Quran. Yes, kids recite Quran, record, upload, share, enjoy, and win big prizes. First prize is $1,000. And the next 10 each get $100. And everyone who enters wins a gift. And it's all free. No ads, no big company.
You're watching The Newsroom, Islam Newsroom. The news you want, when you want it, from the Islamic perspective.
Now we have some websites, alhamdulillah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Who is Allah?
Maybe we'll even see somebody enter into Islam.
Excuse me, do you believe in God?
Why do we call him Allah?
One more time, everyone. Okay, good.
These are the ones that we're going to be mailing out.
Ilaha. Illa. Allah.
And I bear witness. That Muhammad.
And that's right, we're right across the river from Palestine, as a matter of fact, here in Aqaba. The new moon, the Hilal, has been sighted for the month of Shawwal.
When the adhan is called, it doesn't matter where you are. You go and you make your salah, alhamdulillah.
Now, I think this is something that, inshallah ta'ala, we'll all be able to benefit from.
Log in now and make your contribution today to support your favorite project at donatetoislam.com.
You're watching The Newsroom, Islam Newsroom. The news you want, when you want it, from the Islamic perspective.
Now we have some websites, alhamdulillah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Who is Allah?
Maybe we'll even see somebody enter into Islam.
Excuse me, do you believe in God?
Why do we call him Allah?
One more time, everyone. Okay, good.
These are the ones that we're going to be mailing out.
Ilaha. Illa. Allah.
And I bear witness. That Muhammad.
And that's right, we're right across the river from Palestine, as a matter of fact, here in Aqaba. The new moon, the Hilal, has been sighted for the month of Shawwal.
When the adhan is called, it doesn't matter where you are. You go and you make your salah, alhamdulillah.
Now, I think this is something that, inshallah ta'ala, we'll all be able to benefit from.
Log in now and make your contribution today to support your favorite project at donatetoislam.com.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Ahmed Radwan and here we are with you on Guide Us TV, almost live from California. And we have here our wonderful guest. Today we have Brother Richard Kafir. And here he is.
Kaifer.
Kaifer. Brother Richard Kaifer.
Right. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Salam, how are you?
And we have Dr. Adil here all the way from Florida. Here's Dr. Adil. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. And we have Dr. Sultan.
From St. Louis, Missouri.
And we have Sheikh Yusuf Estes with us. How lucky we are to be with you today, Sheikh Yusuf.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Thank you for opening up for us. That's great. I like it. Now you guys don't need me anymore. I'll just pack up and.
No. We cannot do anything without the heart. You are the heart of the show.
Woo! All right. So I took off where was it? Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, I was wearing my mask earlier, but I took it off so that I could talk to everybody. But I've got my mask real handy here, so I can just put it up over there.
You just forgot you are wearing the mask right now.
Huh?
You are wearing the mask right now.
No. It's over here. This is my mask that I wear all the time. So
yeah, that I know. Is it the one you're wearing? Is that the borrowed mask?
Oh. Well, I feel kind of naked if I take this off.
You know, the mask is becoming part of our life now.
Yeah.
On television, we usually now see every advertisement. They have mask on even when they're advertising and trying to sell stuff. This is a message behind it, and I believe the message is that the pandemic is going to stay with us for a little bit of more time. So put your seatbelt on and hang on.
I think you got that right. Well, let's ask Richard about that. What do you think about all that, Richard?
Alhamdulillah, I've got my seatbelt on. I'm assuming we're going to be here a while. But inshallah, it'll all pass. It'll pass at some point in time as Allah determines that it should pass. In the meantime, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Dr. Sultan, let's hear you talk about that. What's going on there?
Yes. You know, the good news.
Tell me.
Good news is that schools are opening, and the kids, they are not as susceptible to infection as serious consequences. So that is not the issue. The issue is when they bring this as a carrier, bring the virus at home. The elderly, the parents, the grandparents, they are more at risk. So that's the bad part of it. And those people already have reduced resistance, reduced immunity. So we are creating a big risk for the households. You see, so kids I'm not that much worried about, but I'm more worried about the elderly living in the house.
I understand what you're saying.
Well, I've got inside news for everybody.
All right, back to you, Richard. Go ahead.
Connections with the teaching unions. Those teachers aren't showing up just because somebody ordered the schools open until it's safe for them as well.
Alhamdulillah, I'm glad to hear that. Let me tell you.
Well, I heard both ways from the teachers. Some was saying it, but anyway, there's always different opinions out there, but let's find out about Florida now.
We have
Dr. Ado, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Talk to me. What's going on?
Still, numbers keep going up, and still making record numbers, especially in.
Well,
South
at least the
Florida.
United States is still #1. Hey.
Well, it's not a good thing to be number
No,
one.
it's not a good thing at all.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, we were #1 in crime and murders for a while. We were #1 in so
homelessness.
Yeah, percentage-wise, yeah, we did pretty good on that. Famine and yeah. So yeah, I'm very no, this is
There's one thing very important that everybody should be aware of. We have an urgent plea last night from a lot of people in the community. There were two, one brother in ICU and one sister in emergency room, which was actually a nurse. They're looking for someone to donate plasma for who recovered from COVID and was tested, that basically recovered, and now they have this protective antibodies that they can use it to help those who are in a critical stage of COVID. And I know yesterday we had to get these messages and share it with all the groups and all the big email servers to let people know if somebody, has that successful recovery from COVID, and now they can donate plasma, which has the antibodies, basically giving the protection against COVID for especially those critically ill in hospitals. And I realized that I'm sure it's happening everywhere in LA and in Missouri and everywhere. Those who are in the community that they have successfully, alhamdulillah, Allah have granted them shifa and recovery, and now they have protection and they have these positive antibodies in their plasma. They can start, at least putting their names in a data bank, or with a local masjid, or a health group, that they could use this as a backup for those who need it urgently. Like this brother is in ICU intubated, and everybody's just playing out all through the night and early this Fajr. So I want to share this with everyone to start making, at least those who would like to be donors, make yourself available, make yourself known. So if the case arises, you go ahead and donate that, plasma-rich antibodies to help, save somebody's life.
It raises one very interesting question. Should we be voluntarily testing ourselves for the antibodies and make a team of army of people who are protected, so that in case of emergency, immediately you're available, instead of, for example, right now I find out somebody has need, so I'm going to go and get myself tested tomorrow, and it's going to take a few days and blah, blah, blah.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Doctor. Thank you, Dr. Sultan. I'm glad you mentioned that, because you, in these cases, you already tested, you already know that you had and confirmed and ready to go. It's just now that you feel comfortable about being a donor of plasma for those brothers and sisters in critical need. And we should make this, of course it's a voluntary. You do this for the sake of Allah. You're not, doing this as a side business. You're doing this to save a life, only seeking the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I just found out that we really need to start networking with everybody over here, a neighbor, a friend, Muslim, non-Muslims, like saving one life in Islam in Surah Al-Baqarah, like saving the whole entire humanity. And we really should, and we have an opportunity, and people are desperate. And if somebody successfully recovered from COVID and tested officially with positive antibodies that they have now, that they can safely, donate their plasma and make it available for those who are in desperate need. Again, we go back to the main subject about prevention. Prevention, by all means, good nutrition, black seed, honey. And I'm mentioning this because when I will look to the world map of cases and number, of course, we're #1, but there's countries like Yemen, there's countries like New Zealand. I know Yemen, they don't have social distancing or even afford to have masks because there's so much poverty, but they have almost zero coronavirus because they use honey extensively. Same thing in New Zealand, same thing. So they have in common. Malaysia, 0. So I went through the whole world map, and Tunisia, very minimal. Those countries use honey on regular basis. And if we could add the double power of black seed, straight from the Quran and Sunnah, I believe we have an awesome opportunity to really impact on prevention and maintaining the immune system strength, healthy. In addition to the ginger and lemon and you know, all the supplements and vitamins and proper healthy diet and strengthening the spiritual element, because I think we're even in the summer, it shouldn't be that high because everybody's talking about a second spike. If this is happening now, can you imagine what's going to happen later in the fall and the winter? So this is an important message for everyone to start really thinking together as one body, all of us together, inshallah.
Now, is that honey just off the shelf honey, or is that like a raw honey?
There's the two reported ones from the reports and what I've read, Manuka. This is actually FDA approved in 2007. And for dressings with wounds, if you go to CVS, Manuka, dressings for even if like for wound debridement and healing, that specifically that particular type is very, very powerful. It has antibacterial, antiviral effect. As a matter of fact, in England, the first line of defense when anybody start having cough is what? Start taking honey. No antibiotics. This is number one in UK, according to their public health guidelines.
Yeah. Is that raw honey?
Yes. Natural, not
natural.
The processed natural honey, not the one that they put so much sugar and all that they call it honey. It has to be natural, taken from the bees, like Rasul, in Surah Al-Nahl. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fihi shifa'un lin-nas. Allah have confirmed that there is a cure in the natural honey that the bees has. And in al-jibal, that's why the oldest tribes of honey is in Yemen, from the mountains, and then the shajar, and then from the trees, as well as other plants. And then when they combine it all together with the pollens, it's like a magic formula for the immune system.
It should be non-pasteurized. That's very important.
Yes.
Because when they pasteurize it, they kill all the enzymes and all the good stuff in there.
I would like to ask the two doctors here also about the prevention. At night, what I do, I have water, and then I get vinegars and salt and lemon. I mix them all together, and then I rinse my mouth before I go to sleep. Do you recommend that? I'm talking about lemon, vinegar, and salt, and you mix them with water and rinse your mouth. Would that help?
I'll answer that. Number one is that you don't need the vinegar. You just pure salt. So salt is such an excellent antibiotic for the mouth. You know why? Because when you put salt as such in the mouth or brush your teeth, it makes a very hypertonic solution. So when hypertonic solution, it sucks out all the water from the bacteria and stuff like that. So it makes a very good sterilizing agent. That's point number one. Number two is, if you're in the habit of rinsing your mouth, you can just use pure hydrogen peroxide, 3%. You get it? Because hydrogen peroxide is an excellent antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungal. You cannot beat hydrogen peroxide, and you don't drink it, you just rinse your mouth and spit it out.
I heard Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used a lot of vinegar in his food because I was told it kills the bacteria. Is that true?
Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Khayrul idam al-khal." The best kind of thing you could have in your pantry in the house is khal, which is vinegar. And apple cider vinegar, this has been used way back, even the ancient Egyptians used to have it as well in their pots and so on. And you could throw it on a salad, you could throw it, you could use it as disinfectant on the surfaces. And you could use, a lot of people say, when you start to have a little tickle in the throat and a dryness in the throat, that could be one of the early signs that the virus is in the upper respiratory tract, and then that one probably the time. Either if you don't have the vinegar is much better and very effective, and do the gargle. If you can't, like Dr. Sultan said, the salt and water will do just fine. With that, the whole idea is to prevent this from going from the upper respiratory into the lower respiratory and affect the lungs and start to have this widespread damage in the body system.
Thank you, doctors, for this information. I hope all our viewers to benefit from it.
Yeah.
Sheikh Yusuf.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam rahmatullahi barakatuh.
You're very quiet today.
Well, I'm working. I got a job. I got a job, and I can work from home, so I'm doing that while you guys are doing all this.
All right. So, what's happening in Florida, Dr. Adil, regarding the pandemic? Because here in California, I heard in the news we are way past 3,000. More than 130,000 people died.
Yes, and I like I mentioned earlier, and I mentioned this. I know you weren't on. I believe that the numbers are just going to keep on going and escalate, and then unfortunately people are distracted now, whether or not they will put a mask or not, whether or not they will do social distance. Simple stuff that people just have to really strictly enforce, because now I see it. Why it was such a high rate? Why a lot of other people successfully have been able to flatten the curve and reverse it, and it happened in so many places, like Italy, like New York City. They did a great job, and so on. So unless and until we change culture, these numbers gonna keep going up, and now the schools are gonna open, and there's a lot of concerns, in the areas that I mentioned. The hospitals, when it comes to someone going to the hospital, it's already too late in the game. A lot of people don't know that, and a lot of people, don't know. And I'm taking this opportunity. I shared it with the group, and kind of, if anybody have tested positive and you came in contact with them, they do the contact tracing. Like somebody it was a client, and it was a good brother who comes in Fajr on a daily basis, and then he came in contact with one of the clients who tested positive for COVID. So what he did, self-quarantine, and you do the self-quarantine at home. You take about 2 weeks. You take one of the rooms at home. It's like khalwa, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or like i'tikaf, kind of seclusion. You use all disposable, utensils, whether it's paper plate, cups, spoons, everything disposable. Put your laundry in a separate bag, and then the meals will be left by the door. If you could have a separate bathroom, it would be preferable. If not, then we'll have to use infectants before and after when you use it. And then keep the mask on when you use it in the house, and keep that. Hopefully 2 weeks, it'll go away, and then you build your immunity. And we need to make sure that there's no intimate contact or anything like that during that time, especially for those who are listening at home, because if you don't enforce that, you're just going to spread it everywhere, and everybody's going to spread it to others, and it's going to be out of control.
But how long did it stay alive? Are we still saying 10 days, 15 days it could stay alive?
It varies from 2 to 15, but the whole idea is Sheikh is giving signal. So inshallah, we'll keep on doing that. Prevention, good hygienes, and if you have to, you do self-quarantine. That's the 3 basic mainstays, because if somebody got so sick, started showing up in the ER, that's bad.
All right, mashallah. I'd just like to let everybody know that we have to short little break, but guys, this is our 2-hour show. We'll be going for another hour and a half. So just stay where you are and stay guided by Guide Us TV. We'll be right back right after this. Don't go away. Stay guided. Here we go.
You're watching The Newsroom, Islam Newsroom. The news you want when you want it, from the Islamic perspective.
Now we have some websites, alhamdulillah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Who is Allah?
Maybe we'll even see somebody enter into Islam.
Excuse me, do you believe in God?
Why do we call him Allah?
One more time, everyone. Okay, good.
These are the ones that we're going to be mailing out. Ilaha. Illa. Allah.
And I bear witness. That Muhammad.
That's right, we're right across the river from Palestine, as a matter of fact, here in Aqaba. The new moon, the Hilal, has been sighted for the month of Shawwal.
When the adhan is called, it doesn't matter where you are. You go and you make your salah, alhamdulillah.
Now, I think this is something that inshallah ta'ala will all be able to benefit from.
Log in now and make your contribution today to support your favorite project at donatetoislam.com.
And we are back. All right. Now, if you were watching real close in the last part of the program, I couldn't see my screen. I have a monitor screen there right in front of me, and I couldn't see it because I was trying to do too many things at one time, and I had a browser opened up over it. And it's not supposed to do that, but it did it. And then I thought I had switched back, and that's why you were looking at me working while Dr. Adler was talking. So I'm so sorry about that. My mistake. Anyway. So, we're talking about mistakes. I ask everybody to make dua for me, and it dawned on me that I have something right here that I could put up, and you guys could take a look at this and see what you think about it. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam rahmatullah. Hey, you know what? We can take this opportunity to pick up our phone call because they've been on the phone for the last 10 minutes. Let's see.
We're going to get some young Sheikh today.
Yes. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Wa alaikum salam rahmatullahi barakatuh. Where are you calling from and what's your name?
My name is Abdullah and I'm calling from New York, Manhattan.
Wow. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Well, would you like to recite the Quran for us?
Yes, I'll recite Surah Al-Lahab.
Rad.
Okay.
Lahab.
Now, give me a clue on where I can find this.
What is the name of it?
Surah Al-Masad.
Masad.
Masad. Okay. Masad. That's a short one. Okay.
Okay, recite Quran. I'm going to pull this up. We have a website called recitequran.com, and I'm trying to pull it up right now. My internet is a little bit slow today. I got too many things working here at the same time, and it looks like it don't want to go. All right.
It's the Surah number 111, Sheikh Yusuf.
Yeah, well,
111.
Nothing's going to help me unless the internet kicks in because it's not opening up.
Yep. 111.
Bismillah. Bismillah. Nope.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Tabbat yada Abi Lahabi wa tab. Ma aghna anhu ma kasab. Yasla naran zata lahab. Wamratuhu hammalatul hatab. Fi jidaha hablum min masad.
Allah.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. By the way, guys, if you would like to get a free Quran, we do have those available. I'd like to tell you about that. A free Quran, and I think all of us would benefit from the Quran translation, especially.
I have
like,
a question.
Go. Okay, you have a question. Go ahead.
What's the story of Abu Lahab?
What's the story about the
Abu Lahab?
Yeah, Al-Masad. I think it's called Al-Masad, right?
Do you want me to answer that?
Yes, if you'd like, you can sure do that, Doctor.
Sure. It's a very briefly, Habibi. This is the lesson behind it. The perish Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, tabbat in Arabic, perished the hands of Abu Lahab under the Prophets alayhi salatu wasalam. And he was so obsessed with money, and he thought that this money will get him everything, and his wealth and his children, because he had a lot of wealth and so on, and he was bragging about it. But Allah said and affirms in this ayah, in this surah, that this money and all this, children and the big family and name will not benefit him. He surely will be burned in fire of the blazing flames, and his wife also, who carries wood, those of satin, which are used to put in the way of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She used to put all this in the way to bother Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and to be used to slander Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And in her neck, the twist of rope of masad, which is plain fiber. So the bottom line from this ayah, the people who hurt Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they were so arrogant and obsessed with money and power, they're surely, both Abu Lahab and his wife, they're both going to be forever and ever in hellfire. Got it?
What is hellfire?
What is hellfire? He's asking you, what is the hellfire?
Have you seen a fire any place in movie or in real life?
The stove.
Anywhere when you see it in fire. So if you have an image of a fire and then you just multiply it by not million, by billion and trillion times, this could be just a miniature of a small image of what a hellfire will look like for all the disbelievers and those people who hurt Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and those who continue to do injustice and do oppression to others. So this is the punishment. That's why it's very good to do good deeds and learn the Quran and have everything.
He's asking.
Can't hear you.
Say it again.
Allahumma ajirni min an-nar.
Oh Allah, save me from hellfire. Oh Allah, save me from hellfire. Ajirni. Oh Allah, save me and rescue me from hellfire. And you do this by doing good deeds like you only just did by reciting Quran. This is one way to have that protection plan.
الدعاء رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار.
That's in Surah Baqarah.
Yes, Sheikh. This is one of the beautiful dua Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You ask him for three things. آتنا في الدنيا حسنة, give us good deeds in this life. وفي الآخرة حسنة, and when we meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وقنا عذاب النار, and protect us from the hell fire. So you ask him three things at one given time.
There's another. Maybe.
I know the dua. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana.
Bravo.
MashaAllah.
Excellent.
MashaAllah. There's also something else about this. Barakallah fikum. If you'd like to know, there's another thing about the Surah Masad. The Surah Masad is not like a lot of the surahs. We take the name from the beginning of the surah, but this one is the last word. because she has this rope or of palm fiber around her neck. It's made out of Masad, and that's where we take the name for it. So we call it Surah Masad. But you could call it Abu Lahab, and because that's how it starts out. Tibet Yada Bilahab Wataba. But the thing is, his name, Abu Lahab, it means he's the father of something. Like Abu Bakr's father of what? What is Bakr?
Father fire.
Yeah, but that's the, yeah. Abu Lahab is the father of flame. It's like a big flame. And they nicknamed him that. And so Allah cursed him for what he was doing to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Anyway, so that's enough about all of that. And I think that you have called in before, and we really appreciate the ones who called back. And also you uploaded a video, is that right?
Yes.
Did you upload? Yeah. Huh?
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed.
All right. So now when you uploaded that video, okay, what's the name? What's your name? Say it. Say. All right. So what I want to do right now, I'm going to try to put that up so that everybody can see it. Is that okay for you? You like that?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. So right behind me right now.
With food and cookies.
Take a look right. Yeah, take a look behind me now, and you can see that we have Malik Muhammad El Ashab. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't see it very good, but then I have some others that are there too. Do you see yourself on the TV yet? It takes about 60 seconds from the time I really say it till you hear it on your TV. That's why we always tell everybody, listen to your phone, because you'll hang up and think that we're not talking to you, but all the time we are. So, do you see your TV yet? Do you see the names up there?
Malik Muhammad, I see it.
Do you see your name up there? Huh?
Yes.
That will go down.
Go down with two bang coffee. Me, Abdullah Yana. Behind you, Sheikh.
Right behind me, huh? All right. I moved me out of the picture, so you watch for that and you'll see it.
Over there. With two bang coffee.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I did this. That's what I was doing while we were broadcasting, because I was trying to get all this picture together so everybody could see, and I wanted to encourage everybody to upload their videos here on Guide Us TV, because if we upload these and do this, you'll be surprised. More and more people will like to do it too. So I want to encourage everybody to do this, to join us and upload your videos too. And I'm going to turn off the...
I'm talking on behalf of my son. He already talked to his all family members, and lots of people, they uploaded a video. All his cousin and nephew and nieces.
Wonderful.
From Florida, Georgia.
Wonderful, wonderful,
New York.
wonderful. MashaAllah. I'm very happy
all
to
of
hear
his
about
cousin
this.
and nephew and nieces, yes.
So if you guys want to have your video up here, it's very simple. You don't have to pay any money for it. We'll take care of all of the costs. All you have to do is record your video and then upload it to reciteontv.com. So if you'd like to go there right now, go to...
I'll give my video to Bank.
Well, we're going to feature each one of you as we get closer and closer to the time of the contest. Okay? MashaAllah. I'm very proud of you guys. You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work. Keep it going. Keep it growing. That's our expression that we like to use. All right.
Jazakallah. Khairan.
Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. MashaAllah. MashaAllah.
Masalama.
Richard, I see you're back. Would you like to give us a little bit of your input on the children reciting? Did you get to see that?
That was fabulous. That was fabulous. Yes, I had a little kind of a little Charlie horse in my leg. I had to stand up and kind of do a little exercise here to get Charlie out. But yeah, that was wonderful recitation. That is so good to hear. And actually, that part they were talking about earlier is a part of my regular prayer of that Huma.
Atina fi dunya hasan.
Yeah. Alum Fadini Hasana Wakina Sabanar. No, I forget. I get stage right, yeah. And so that was just super good to hear.
It's very comprehensive.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Ahmed, what do you think? You were the one who brought that up, that you jumped all the way back to the very early part of the Quran in Surah Baqarah. Yeah, because we were at the very end of the Quran with Surah Lahab. It's almost the end of the Quran, and you went all the way back. Do scholars like to do that? They like to reference something else internally to another thing and to another, and then match it up so that we get a bigger feeling of the Quran? How does that work?
No, it's just the child was asking about the dua. And I always like that dua, Rasulullah, which he likes to always recite, Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana, give us a good hasana in the dunya, what we are living right now, wa fil akhirati hasana, okay, and then qina adab al-nar. And we would like to remind everyone, do not focus when you're doing your dua only on the dunya, because a lot of people, they misunderstand and they do it only on the dunya. And the dunya is just like the appetizer. You're not focusing on the main meal, and then you get excited with the appetizer and you forget about the main meal. And with the main meal I'm talking about al-Jannah, Jannah al-Firdaus. This is our main thing. This is the last thing. So when we're doing any dua, brother and sister, you hear us here on Guide Us TV, always focus on the akhirah before the dunya, because the dunya is very short. Like if I have a choice, what life I would focus on, I would focus on akhirah versus the dunya. And the dunya, because it's a short time, 80 years, 60 years, and that's it. But the akhirah, it's the last thing. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as we heard us before, ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار, and protect us from the hellfire. And I'm so happy and excited to hear the children, they are encouraging one another. When they see one another are reciting, they've been calling. It reminds me with the little ducks, the baby ducks. Once one of them jumped in the water for the first time, and then the other one follows, and the other one follows, and they start following their mother. By the way, we had at my house, we had one duck laid 8 eggs, and they just left 2 days ago with all her babies. Yeah.
So let me make sure I've got this right. Is that Atina Fidunya Hasana?
Atina.
Rabbana.
Atina.
Yeah, start with the maybe
Wafil Kriyati Hasana. Atina.
Maybe if you don't mind, maybe I can help you a little bit on that.
Bring it.
Yeah, maybe.
ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة.
The first part about it is to say, you calling on the Rabb, the Lord of the world. So you say, Rabb. Rabbana, Atina fid dunya hasana, وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار.
وقنا عذاب النار.
It's a cough sound. قنا protect it.
I would like to talk a little bit about Rabbana, Rabbi, and you know, if you notice in the Holy Quran that the majority of the Rusul, when they're calling on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they use the following: Rabbi, Rabbana, Rabbi, Rabbana, Rabbi. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always respond to them. When if you look at the dua in the Quran, you see ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا أفرج. You will hear the word ربنا constantly in the Quran. So this one should trigger in our head that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He liked to be called by Rabbana,
our Lord.
Our Lord. Thank you, Doctor. You know, our Lord. So it's very, very important to use that. Beside also Asma'ullah al-Husna. Asma'ullah al-Husna, we have 99 names, and you could choose the appropriate name for your needs. Like, for example, if you are ill, you have illness, and then you could say Ya Shafi, the healer, Ya Shafi. And then if you need money and you have hard time, and then what you could do to make ends meet, and then all you have to do, Ya Ghani, Ya Ghani, Ya Sattar, Ya Razzaq, you know, the giver, you know. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said in the Holy Quran, أنا الغني وأنتم الفقراء. I'm the rich and you are the poor. So there is so many names, and if you want justice between you and another person, call Allah Ya Adl. You know, there is so many names. It will match your needs. So use it.
All right. Okay, now we had a phone call, but we lost them, and we'll keep working on this right now. But I think it's Dr. Sultan. I know you you spend a lot of time with the Quran yourself, and what things would you say a good dua or prayer would be for somebody who wants the protection of Allah in whatever situation they find themselves? So which one would you like to mention?
Ahmad Ridwan said it beautifully, that Allah Ta'ala has 99 names. Whatever your need, whatever your circumstances are, in what way you want to ask for help, all the names are there, you call by them. The best one I like is Rabbana Atana Fid Dunya Hasnatam wa fil Akhirati Hasnatam wa qina azaban nar, because that is the real essence of life. You see, you can ask for anything and everything you get, but if you don't get these hasanat in this world and their life thereafter, what good are those things? So this is my most favorite and most comprehensive dua, which asks to get the Allah Ta'ala give you life there.
All right. Well, so you're agreeing basically with what Ahmed Redwan was saying about this this dua, and that's good. Dr. Adel, what would you recommend for somebody if they would like to, you know, seek refuge in Almighty God? How would you advise them, whether they're Muslim or not Muslim? What would you tell them to do?
I like the last few two ayahs of the Surah Al-Baqarah. رَبَّنَا لَا تُؤَخِذْنَا إِن نَسِينَا وَأَخْطَأْنَا. Oh Allah, please pardon us if we forget or we have made mistakes. Because Allah is the one who forgives and pardons. رَبَّنَا وَلَا تَحْمِلْ عَلَيْنَا إِصْرًا كَمَا حَمَلْتَهُ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِن قَبْلِنَا. Oh Allah, don't overload us with things that we are not able to, to handle. رَبَّنَا لَا تُؤَخِذْنَا إِن نَسِينَا وَأَخْطَأْنَا. رَبَّنَا وَلَا تَحْمِلْ عَلَيْنَا إِصْرًا كَمَا حَمَلْتَهُ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِن قَبْلِنَا. ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به.
Allah.
Don't give us more than we can handle, because sometimes you're overwhelmed. So when you ask that dua, Allah will only give you what you can handle. ربنا واعف عنا. Oh Allah, forgive us. واغفر لنا. And give us, not only the forgiveness, but the ultimate pardon with the af, meaning erasing all sins without any record. Without, sometimes you delete something in the computer, but you know what? If you do forensics, it'll come back and say you deleted that file or you something. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would totally erase it so that even it doesn't exist anymore. That's what fa'fu anna, waghfir lana, forgive us and pardon us, warhamna, and have mercy on us. Anta mawlana, you are our Lord. Fansurna ala al-qawmi al-kafirin, give us victory over the non-believers. That's just a beautiful, in the last ayah of Surah Al-Baqarah. I love it so much, and I thought if since you asked me, I think that's my favorite one.
MashaAllah. I agree with that 100%. That really, I think, is one of the best things that you can do, is to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by His names for what you need. And I really like the idea that we're asking Allah specifically for the things that we're having to deal with in our life. Like, please don't punish us for what we're forgetting or for what we're overburdened with, or don't put us in the condition like the people before us. And that really sums it up a lot, I think. And then at the very end of it, Antum Maulana Fansurna ala al-Qawmi al-Kafirin, that you're the Maulana for us, and you are the one, the big protector for us, and we ask you to take care of those who are coming against us, and you deal with them. And I think that's a very good way to look at it. All right, we got to take another break right now, and so we're going to be right back right after this. But guys, stay tuned and stay guided with Guidance TV. And here's how you can be a part of what we're doing and get the reward for it without having to go out here and do any other work. Just help support it financially, and we'll be right back right after this. So stay tuned and stay guided.
You're watching The Newsroom, Islam Newsroom. The news you want, when you want it, from the Islamic perspective.
Now we have some websites, alhamdulillah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Who is Allah? Maybe we'll even see somebody enter into Islam.
Excuse me, do you believe in God?
Why do we call him Allah?
One more time, everyone. Okay, good.
These are the ones that we're going to be mailing out.
Ilaha. Illa. Allah.
And I bear witness. That Muhammad.
That's right, we're right across the river from Palestine, as a matter of fact, here in Aqaba. The new moon, the Hilal, has been sighted for the month of Shawwal.
When the adhan is called, it doesn't matter where you are. You go and you make your salah, alhamdulillah.
Now, I think this is something that, inshallah ta'ala, we'll all be able to benefit from.
Log in now and make your contribution today to support your favorite project at donatetoislam.com.
You're watching The Newsroom, Islam Newsroom. The news you want, when you want it, from the Islamic perspective.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And we are back. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know why this is giving me a problem right now. It's not working. All right. Okay, we are back, more or less. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And we've been talking about the kind of du'as.
Cannot hear you, Sheikh Yusuf.
All right. Then I'll put you guys back on. I'm trying to get this to work.
I have audio. I can hear you.
there's a problem with the audio.
And Zoom.
In Zoom. All right. What can I do? I don't know what to. Yeah, here. Let's put this back.
You're watching The Newsroom, Islam Newsroom. The news you want when you want it, from the Islamic perspective.
Now we have some websites, alhamdulillah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Who is Allah? Maybe we'll even see somebody enter into Islam.
Excuse me, do you believe in God?
Why do we call him Allah? One more time, everyone. Okay, good.
Okay. It turns out that I had somehow muted everything. I don't know what I clicked, but alhamdulillah for that. And we are back. So we've been talking about the du'as, or the prayers that we can say whenever we fall into uncomfortable situations. Let's leave it at that. And I think that it's a good chance for us to ask Ahmed Redwan to maybe tell us, did Moses have a dua from the Quran? Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, of course. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I would like to share with you the dua of Sayyidina Musa after he left Egypt. After Pharaoh, he was threatening, looking for him, and he wants to kill him. And then he decided to leave Egypt, and then he left with only his clothes on. God knows if he have shoes on or not. And he's left very frightened, very scared. And he walked toward Midian, which is toward Palestine. And then he saw a shady tree, and he sat down there for rest for a little bit. And then he saw two girls. They trying to fill up some water, and they needed some help and assistance for their cows and stuff like that. So he decided to go help them out because he felt that they needed help. And after he helped them, he sent them their way, and he sat down under the tree. And now remember, he left without no money, no friends, no relatives, nothing. The only thing he have is clothes on. And he sat down under the tree and he said dua. And let us see, I'm going to share with you the dua from the Holy Quran. And then watch, after he did the dua, he wound up with what? بعد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فسقى لهما ثم تولى إلى الظل فقال ربي إني لما أنزلت إلي من خير فقير. Musa then, he sat under the shady tree and began asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help, to guide him and assist him, because he needed help. He's alone in the desert there. And then after that dua, what happened? Okay, let us see. Let us pay attention to this. First thing, that girls, they came in and asked him to come to their home. Their dad wants to pay him for his help to give them water. So he wind up with, after the dua, he wind up with a place to stay, a house. He wind up with a job because he was hired by the father of the two girls, and he wind up marrying one of them. And then after this, he wind up with the children. So all this, it happened after Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, he did his dua. So, and then what did he use? He said, Rabbi. So remember that, always ask Rabbi, Rabbana, Rabbana. And wallahi, if you look in the Holy Quran, you will find the majority of the Rasul and Anbiya, they use Rabbi, Rabbana, Rabbi, Rabbana. And it's a beautiful things to say. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, let me tell you, brother and sister, the dua is part of ibadah. When you are asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and raising your hand, you are acknowledging that He exists. He is the power. He is the sustainer. He is the first. He is the last. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said for Surah Al-Mu'min, بعد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم, وقال ربكم ادعوني أستجب لكم إن الذين يستكبرون عن عبادتي سيدخلون جهنم داخرين. What does this mean? It's Allah, your Lord said, call me, I will respond to you. Definitely those who show arrogance and they do not ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and they feel they are self-sufficient, they will go to Jahannam, which is the hellfire. So what we need to do, brother and sister, always ask Allah. It's not just like asking a friend. Like, for example, let's say you are short of money and you need some help here, or you need a ride there. And then you go ask that person today, and then he'll help you. Tomorrow you ask him again, he start getting tired of you. You ask him again, he get exhausted and he doesn't even answer your phone call. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the more you ask him, the more he loves you. The more you ask him, the more he give you. So all we have to do is raise your hand and say, Rabbana, Rabbana, and then ask him for whatever you need. And this is part of worshiping Al-Hayy, Al-Qayyum, Al-Wahid, Al-Ahad, Allah.
What's the difference between Rabbana and Allahumma?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Allahumma, Rabbana.
Rabbana, the Lord of the world, Rabbana.
Yeah.
Okay, and the second one?
Allahumma.
Allahum.
Allahumma.
I don't get it.
Allahumma ya Rabbi. Allahumma.
Allahumma.
Allahumma, ده اسم Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allahumma taqabbal. Allahumma taqabbal. That's the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
It means our Lord or our God.
Yeah, Allahumma ameen. Allah, yeah, when sometimes you hear the word Allahumma ameen, you're asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept what you finished. Allahumma taqabbal, Allahumma accept it from us. You know, Allahum, that's God's name.
Yes, mashallah.
Is God forgetful?
I'm sorry?
Is God forgetful?
No. He's forgiveful. He is forgiveful, but he is not forgetful. He's not going to forget anything. Yeah, but he can lay aside, if I make a mistake and I ask Allah to cover my mistake, he can make kafara over my mistake, and then nobody will know about it because he'll make them forget or not know about my mistake. But as far as Allah forgetting, that would imply that he's not perfect, because he knows everything, and how could you know everything if you forgot something? Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, there's a Christian concept that when God forgives you, he forgets your sins as well.
Well, I don't, we can't go along with that one. I'm sorry.
No, not forget. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I said very loudly and clear, he does not forget, but he forgives.
Yeah, no, I know that, and I accept that. I'm just telling you from the Christian standpoint. I mean, they even sing it. In the sea of God's forgetfulness, my sins are there. And it's like God has put them in a place where he can't even remember them. And they rejoice in that, saying, my sin is so far gone, God, you even forgot about it. And obviously, I don't accept that.
I never realized, but I do know that what you're saying is right, because the God that is mentioned in the Bible, in the beginning of the Bible, it said he created Adam, he created Eve, and he left them in the garden. But then he's coming back and he's walking. It said he's walking like a human. He's walking through the garden and he's trying to remember where they are, and he can't find them. He's calling them.
He's going, where are you? Where are you?
Yeah, and, it gets weird.
I mean, there's a happy little song in Christianity. You ask me why I'm happy, so I will tell you why. Because my sins are gone. They're underneath the blood of the cross of Calvary, as far removed as darkness is from dawn, in the sea of God's forgetfulness. That's good enough for me. Praise God, my sins are gone.
Wow.
And that's hard.
Yeah, I think what you're talking about, forget, is in another sense also. Like somebody commits a sin, and then Allah Ta'ala forgives. Well, that is one point. But Allah Ta'ala knows that it was the sin there.
Yes.
forget comes that it has been erased completely from your books. It cannot be brought back. So it's all gone. It's not just forgiven, but quote unquote forgotten. Not Allah forgets it, but it is as if the slate is perfectly clean. I think that's in that sense it makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, in the Christian world, they take that a step further to the point where it is forgotten. God has forgotten about it.
No, I disagree with that one. Yeah.
Oh, I do too. Obviously, I do too now.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, yes. Also, I would like to share with everyone, also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell Prophet Muhammad alayhi afdal wa azka salam fi Surah Al-Baqarah, which number 2186. وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي وَلْيُؤْمِنُوا بِي لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْشُدُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here is telling, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي, talking to Prophet Muhammad, and he's telling him, if my servant ask you about me, tell them I am near. I will respond to them. But you have to have two things you have to do. Yes, فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي, you have to answer Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you have to believe in Allah, and you have to trust in Allah. In order for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He can forgive and also He can give you. And the doors of Rahmah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is open 24/7. Is always open. There is no days it's closed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell us in Surah Al-Hajj, بعد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم, نبئ عبادي أني أنا الغفور الرحيم. نبئ عبادي أني أنا الغفور الرحيم وأن عذابي هو العذاب الأليم. What does this mean? He's telling, tell my servant that I am the most forgiving and the most merciful, and my punishment is severe. Here we have the positive and the negative in one verse. You know, نبئ عبادي أني أنا الغفور الرحيم وأن عذابي. So in order to have something very powerful and very strong, you must have the negative and the positive in the sentence. Just like, for example, the word La ilaha illallah. Here is we have the negative first and then the positive right after. La ilaha illallah.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. I wanted everybody to know that this the program that we've got right now is a 2-hour program, and we're in our second hour right now. We're in the last hour, and we've still got about 45 minutes to go. And I would encourage you, if you have some children that would like to recite, let's bring them on and let's let them recite, because this is what we're here for. So guys, go ahead, and while we're talking, you can just call in. We'll interrupt the call. And we got the phone number up here. You can just call, and we'll, inshallah, we'll stop everything just to hear your child. Please.
How about the price, Sheikh Yusuf? What we are, this way to encourage him. You were saying before about the first place and second place. This hopefully might ignite the fire and call us.
Okay, well, now that's a good question. I like that question too. Let's do that. Let's put something up here and let them see some of the things. First of all, let's take a look. This is one of the little guys that has already called in, and he decided his folks allowed him to join, and he put his video up on Recite on TV, and we enjoyed it a lot. In fact, we pulled this picture from there, inshallah. So there are others as well. You could, let's see if we can pull up another one for you to take a look at here. Let's see. Okay. That just, sorry guys, I got distracted. I'm sorry. Apologize for that. Okay. Right. I thought I could do this easy.
So kids, if you are listening, kids,
there it
call
is.
us.
There
Whatever surah that you like to share with us, Al-Fatiha, Qul Wallahu Ahad, small surah is welcome. We love the small surahs. So do not be hesitant, do not be shy. Come and call us. and you might win the big prize, inshallah.
Yeah, we've had
The price is up.
these are some of the kiddos who have called in. They've also here we go. We've got one on the with us right now. Let's take this call.
Hello, Mohammed Hassan.
Salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. MashaAllah. Who do we have on the air with us right now?
Muhammad Isa.
Okay, MashaAllah. Would you like to recite something for us right now?
What surah?
Any surah? Surah Juma.
Al-Jum'ah?
Yeah.
Yeah, maximum 10 ayah. Okay.
Today Al-Jum'ah also.
Yeah, today is Juma. That's a good choice. Very good choice.
I like that.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Surah Juma. Surah Juma.
Oh, you changed it on us. Okay. Why?
Is to say Al-Jum'ah?
No, I said Zumar.
Zumar.
Okay, Zumar. That's number 39, Sheikh.
I got it. We're ready. Go ahead.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أفمن شرح الله صدره للإسلام فهو على نور من ربه فويل للقاسية قلوبهم من ذكر الله ذلك هدى الله يهدي به من يشاء ومن يضلل الله فما له من هاد الله نزل أحسن الحديث كتابا متشابها مثاني تقشعر منه جلود الذين يخشون ربهم ثم تلين جلودهم وقلوبهم إلى ذكر الله ذلك هدى الله يهدي به من يشاء ومن يضلل الله فما له من هاد أفمن يتقي بوجهه سوء العذاب يوم القيامة وقيل للظالمين ذوقوا ما كنتم تكسبون كذب الذين من قبلهم فأتاهم العذاب من حيث لا يشعرون فأذاقهم الله الخزي في الحياة الدنيا ولعذاب الآخرة أكبر لو كانوا يعلمون.
MashaAllah.
MashaAllah. Beautiful. Bravo.
That's very nice. MashaAllah. And
you guys, with a lot of confidence.
You guys are watching right now. You can easily go to Recite on TV. You just look at it right. I'm pointing to it right now. ReciteOnTV.com, and then join us. Then record your video, upload your video. We'll take care of it. It costs nothing to do that. It'll be free, and then you could win. You could win the prize.
I already uploaded a video.
You uploaded a video. Okay. All right. And, you could win a prize, right?
Yeah.
In fact, we're going to give a prize to everybody, anybody and everybody who joins up, and you upload a video with the Quran in it, of course, then you'll get a prize, inshallah.
My little brother wants to recite too.
Oh, your little brother. What's his name?
My name is Adam Isa.
Adam, is that what you said?
Yeah.
MashaAllah. How old are you?
9.
9 years old. Wow. You're an old man, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What grade are you in?
4th.
4th grade. Okay. All right. Now, have you already gone back to school? Are you going to go into the 4th grade, or how does that work?
I'm going to go in 4th grade.
Okay. All right. So, what do you want to recite for us tonight?
Surah Muhammad.
Surah Muhammad, number 48, I think. 47. Yeah, it's number 47. You're going to start at the beginning and just give us 10 ayahs? Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الذين كفروا وصدوا عن سبيل الله أضل أعمالهم والذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وآمنوا بما نزل على محمد وهو الحق من ربهم كفر عنهم سيئاتهم وأصلح بالهم ذلك بأن الذين كفروا اتبعوا الباطل وأن الذين آمنوا اتبعوا الحق من ربهم كذلك وساق فإما من بعث وإما فداء حتى تضع الأرض أوزارها ذلك لو يشاء الله انتصر منهم ولكن ليبلو بعضكم ببعض والذين قتلوا في سبيل الله ولن يتركم أعمالكم سيهديهم ويصلح بالهم ويدخلكم الجنة عرفها لهم يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن تنصروا الله ينصركم ويثبت أقدامكم والذين كفروا فتعصى لهم وأضل أعمالهم ذلك بأنهم كرهوا ما أنزل الله فأحبط أعمالهم أفلم يسيروا في الأرض فينظروا كيف كان عاقبة الذين من قبلهم دمر الله عليهم وللكافرين أمثالها صدق الله العظيم.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. I love that. That's great. Now we're on Recite on TV right now. We are on Recite on TV right now, and we've got another half hour to go, or more than a half hour. So if you'd like to call in, if you'd like to recite the Quran with us, you're most welcome. And if you'd like to join the contest is all the way up until the time of the end of Hajj, and that's when we're going to announce the winners. Now, everybody wins a prize. Anybody who takes the time to recite the Quran, upload the Quran, share with their friends and relatives, if you do that, then you've got a reward already coming from Allah. But you also got reward coming from us, a small gift from us here in this dunya, but a big reward from Allah in the Jannah. All right. So, and should I mention that the first prize, do you know how much is that first prize? Anybody know?
$1,000.
$1,000, my God.
$1,000.
Okay, what's second prize?
$100.
$100. Okay, what's the third prize?
$100.
Fourth prize?
$100.
Fifth prize?
$100.
Sixth prize?
$100.
7?
$100.
8?
$100.
9?
$100.
10?
$100.
11?
Mystery.
No, 11 is also $100 because we have first prize is 1,000.
Yes,
then the next 10, so that's 11 prizes. 11 big prizes. By the way, you still get a small prize anyway because we're giving everybody who uploads a video a prize. Even if you don't win from the top 11, you still win a prize. So I want everybody to know about this and recite the Quran.
So, Sheikh Yusuf, since today is Juma, I wonder if we could tell them a little info regarding the importance of Yawm al-Juma.
Well, I think you should. I think that's a great idea.
We should talk about today, how important today is to the whole world, not only to the Muslims. Brother and sister, today, as you know, is today Yawm al-Juma. And also, there is a surah called Juma. Even there is people, they call themselves the name also Juma. Why? Because that day is a holy day for us. Very, very important day for us. What has taken place in the past and what is going to happen in the future. guess what? يوم القيامة is going to be يوم الجمعة. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم خير يوم طلعت عليه الشمس يوم الجمعة فيه خلق آدم وفيه أدخل الجنة وفيه أخرج منها ولا تقوم الساعة إلا يوم الجمعة. What does this mean? The Prophet said the best and the most blessed day is when the sun rises يوم الجمعة. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Prophet Adam يوم الجمعة. And then Prophet Adam entered paradise يوم الجمعة. And Prophet Adam repented. He was accepted يوم الجمعة. Prophet Adam was sent down to earth يوم الجمعة. Prophet Adam died also يوم الجمعة. Look at how many events. And the judgment day is going to happen in a day like this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell us in Surah Al-Taghabun يوم يجمعكم ليوم الجمع ذلك يوم التغابن. This is the day Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will collect us يوم الحساب يوم الجمعة, which is a day like this. So we have to be in our best behavior يوم الجمعة, because this could be the last breath that we are taking, and يوم الجمعة. And I would like to hear from the doctors their input about how important يوم الجمعة for us.
MashaAllah. I think let's open up that subject with Dr. Adil. Go ahead, Dr.
There's a couple of more things. Beautiful. I mean, I'm very, very, I'm glad that there's a good reminder. Few things of Yawm al-Jum'ah. The antidote for Antichrist on Jum'ah, everybody should read 10 ayahs of Surah Al-Kahf. Please make this as a weekly homework. The second thing about Jum'ah, that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when you hear to mention the Prophet name, when you make Salah and Taslim, the rest of the week it's delivered through an angel, specifically the task to pass the Salah and Taslim on Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But on the day of Jum'ah, in particular, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam take that directly without the angel. There is no middleman. There is no. So that's because of the specific barakah and specific significance of Yawm al-Jum'ah. And lastly, there is 1 hour during Jum'ah. If anybody make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it will be guaranteed. Most of the scholars said it's probably the hour between Asr and Maghrib. So a lot of people try to stay in the masjid during that time, make a really, really effort, supplication, and the dua that hopefully will be answered. So this is just like a little glimpse to add to what the brother Ahmed, mashallah, beautifully said.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. All right, well, we've got a chance now for everybody to call in. If you'd like to call in and just recite, there's no prize for that, of course. But if you'd like to call in and recite, you're welcome to do so right now. But if you'd like to do some more, a little bit more, like in the competition or the contest, right here, it's on Recite on TV, reciteontv.com. Record your video of the Quran and then upload it, and then, inshallah, you win a prize. But the biggest prize is going to come from Allah on the Day of Judgment. Is that right?
Oh, yes, inshallah, inshallah. And also, I would like to remind everyone that Yawm al-Jum'ah, we did not pick this day. Like the Jews, they picked Saturday to be their holiday. And the Christian, they picked Sunday to be their holiday. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala picked us for us. We did not choose it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose for us Yawm al-Jum'ah to be our the holiday. So, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell us في سورة الجمعة بعد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا نودي للصلاة من يوم الجمعة فاسعوا إلى ذكر الله وذروا البيع. Or you believe, when you hear the salah is being called upon you Yawm al-Jum'ah, leave your work and hasten and go and pray and worship Allah. فاسعوا إلى ذكر الله وذروا البيع means leave your work behind. ذلك خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون. That will be good for you if you know. فإذا قضيت الصلاة فانتشروا في الأرض. when after you finish your salah, and then go spread in the land, فانتشروا في الأرض وابتغوا من فضل الله واذكروا الله كثيرا. Continue remembering Allah even after the salah during the day. واذكروا الله كثيرا لعلكم تفلحون. And pay attention to this coming verse. وإذا رأوا تجارة أو لهوا انفضوا إليها وتركوك قائما قل ما عند الله خير من اللهو من التجارة والله خير الرازقين. Why that verse was sent? First, let's understand the meaning. وَإِذَا رَأَوْا تِجَارَةً, the people before, when they used to follow Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and they hear the trumpet, and they leave Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam standing up, delivering the khutbah, or talking in the masjid, and they go conduct business. And then this is the verse, it was revealed to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, tell them is praying and listening to the khutbah is much better for you than conducting business, because they used to leave Rasulullah standing up.
Not only that, I'm glad you mentioned that. Sheikh Sha'rawi said this beautiful explanation. In any business or any field of tijara, of trade, what is the most important moment of the trade or business? The moment of transaction. Transaction when you get paid, right? That's when the transmission went through and so on and so forth. Right now everything is going through an e-pay gateway or whatever. But in the Quran it's very, very elegant. وَذَرُوا الْبَيْعَ. You leave the transactions, which is the peak. You could sit all day long and you don't do anything, but you leave the peak of their transaction where you make the most profit at the time of Jum'ah. That's how important it is. And once you do it for that hour, then you go back and you conduct it and so on. A lot of people went nuts when you close restaurant on lunch during Jum'ah, and you put I remember in Brooklyn, New York, and you put on the door closed for prayer, and people kept knocking on the door and all that, and they're out of your mind, you're out of your money, your mind, this is your peak business, and you do that, and then subhanAllah, this brother, I was so impressed by him. This is, said, we have to get the business of Allah now, not the business of dunya. And it's really nice to put things in perspective, because when he gets back, he have all these long lines of, so the business quadruple, actually, by fulfilling Allah's orders and not compromising Allah's orders.
There's another further explanation of what you cited, why people will leave Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, because in the olden days, when the transaction will take place, the merchants will come and they will they'll beat their drums and stuff like that. And that was the very important thing, because you didn't have shops here and there, you can buy anything and everywhere. So those moments of transaction choose to be very, very important. So that is when that thing happened and people rushed to the business. They're in the business, but then they don't have the food or other things. So that's why Allah Ta'ala revealed that you do business later on. First, pay attention to your Juma prayers and then do the transactions. Am I right?
Absolutely, yes. Very good.
Thank you for sharing that, Dr. Sultan. Also عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الصلوات الخمس والجمعة إلى الجمعة كفارة لما بينهم ما لم تغش الكبائر. What does this mean, brother and sister? If you pray your 5 daily prayer and then you go and pray Jum'ah as well, and then whatever, do not fool yourself, whatever minor sin, it will be erased from one Jum'ah to the following Jum'ah. If you're praying five times a day and then you go pray Jum'ah, the minor sin, it will be erased by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just like when you do, for example, you go do Hajj, and then from Hajj to Hajj, you clean up your slate and you start clean. So do not miss Yawm al-Jum'ah to pray. But unfortunately, right now, some of the masajid are closed. But alhamdulillah, today I wind up praying Jum'ah in the Beaumont Masjid, which I shared that with everyone before. It used to be a church, and we converted to a masjid, and I was praying there. Alhamdulillah, today we had about 30 people praying. So if there is a masjid near you open, take your rug with you, your own rug, and go and pray. A lot of masajid now, they have two Juma prayer if they are open, and then 30 or 35 people always shows up. So if you can do it, please, by all means.
Okay, now in the last few minutes that we've got, I think it would be nice for us to talk about another subject that I think it concerns most of the Muslims in the entire world.
Whoa!
And that is about the Hajj and going for Hajj and going to different places that we'd like to worship. Medina and Jerusalem and Mecca. These three places are very, very important for all of us to go to them to worship. Now, in the Hajj, which is the pilgrimage to Mecca, this is required. It's one of the pillars of Islam. You must do this when Allah makes a way, when it is easy for you to do so, not difficult, and it's not, when I say not difficult, in other words, like what's going on right now, the pandemic is very difficult, so you see. So what we're saying is that this is something that concerns all of us. But also there are some very big places that we go, not specifically like a pilgrimage or something like that, but we'd like to go to see physically what does it look like. These masajid, for instance, in northern Africa that I visited, the Masjid Muhammad Ali, that's the one in Cairo. There's also another one that's on the other side of Africa in Maghreb, Masjid Fes. And that masjid is very, very old as well, very old. In fact, it is the oldest ongoing university for Islam, even older than Azhar, mashallah. So these places that we'd like to go and see, but there is one particular place, and I'm going to bring it up right now and let everybody see it. This is the inside of it. When I was here, I'm going to put me out of this so that you can see this a little bit better, all right? Here we go. Yeah, this is the inside of the Blue Mosque. Now, what you're looking at is the ceiling. Now, it might not look in proportion to everything because the person almost turned the camera up on their head to get this picture. There is a ring at the bottom of the picture, a black ring. If you can see that, there are lights hanging from it. Those lights are so high up, even though it looks like they're real low to the ground. But even if you took a long stick, like 6 foot, 7 foot, and try to reach up, you would not even get close to those lights. And I'd like to mention this to you. When I was there the last time, they actually were, they had let this down to change the light bulbs out of it. They can actually let this all the way down to the ground and then pull it back up again. But this is hanging on so many wires or cables hanging down. It's amazing to see the size of this place. But how would you like to see the outside of it?
Of course. It looks beautiful from inside, Sheikh. I love it. I mean, it's a lot of work, a lot of decoration, mashallah.
Well, Dr. Otto, would you like to see it?
Absolutely.
Outside?
Absolutely.
On the outside?
Outside, inside, wherever you want to take us.
Dr. Sultan, you want to see the outside?
That's both.
Well, all right. This is the outside. Well, let me get me out of the picture here. You're looking at the outside of it right now. Let me see if I can pull me out. All right. That is not the Blue Mosque. You know what that is? That's Hagia Sophia.
Oh.
Hagia Sophia, yeah.
In Turkey.
In Turkey. Yeah, the Blue Mosque is also in Turkey. But let me see if I can pull it up.
Oh, I see it now. Beautiful.
Yeah?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that orange that you see right in there, that's been there for a long time. They keep it orange like that. But guess what? That is the oldest. I'm gonna put me back in the picture so I can talk to you. There we go. All right. This is so old. This is the foundation of that building that you see behind me right there. That foundation is so old that it goes back to the Byzantium time, and even before that, at the time of Constantine. That is an old location, and this was the original site of a temple where they worshipped idols. And then during the Byzantine time, they converted it over. Constantine became Constantinople. You know that, right? And then his daughter or somebody in his family became a Christian. Then he kind of played with it for on and off, but he eventually held a conference that they called the Council of Nicaea. The Council of Nicaea. And this building back here was a Christian church. And whenever the Muslims fought against them, and then they resisted, and they were very, very vicious. The people were very vicious in the fight, but on both sides. But then this was converted over to a mosque. After all, and it became a mosque or masjid for a long time. Then they built the Blue Mosque, which was, I was in the center of that one a minute ago. Let me see if I can pull that back up. There you go. That is the inside of the Blue Mosque. I tried to put a picture up here of the Blue Mosque on the outside. I don't know what happened to it, but anyway. Oh, here it is. Let me see if I can do that. Yeah.
Beautiful. And it ended up to be a museum after being a masjid.
Well, I'm going to tell you about that. I'm going to tell you about it. But let's take a look at this first. Yeah. Now, you're looking at the Blue Mosque. The Blue Mosque on the outside. This is on the Mara.
Mara.
That's the name of the sea or the water that you see in the background. And when I was there was a boat or a ship that had it sunk down when the water went out. They anchored it too close, so the water was gone and the ship fell over. And when the water came back, it pushed it up against the walkway, but it never righted it. So they lost the ship, and it was still there. And that was 20 years ago. And now the last time I was there, about 4 years ago, it was gone. They had already moved it. But now this picture was taken early, maybe 18 years ago, because they had already put that, look at the center and the top of the dome. You can see there, I think you can't see it very good. But there is the, let me see if I put me back in there. I'm trying to do that, but not very successfully. There we go. Yeah, here we go. Now, wait a minute. Let me see. Now, do you see this right here? That is actually the crescent moon. You know, when you see the crescent moon, a lot of people use that to notify that this is something about Islam, you know, and they have a star in there. We don't really have a symbol representing Islam, but a lot of people use that. Anyway, do you see that right there? Okay. I touched that with this finger right here. I touched it. For real. Aren't you gonna ask me how did I touch it?
Like kissing the parrots and the sphinx. Did the Photoshop stuff.
Nope, nice try, but no cigar. No, guess again.
Green screen? Is it the green screen?
No, I'm talking about in real life. I was there in.
Oh, you were there.
I was there in Turkey 20 years ago, and I put my finger right up on top of that. Let me see if I can. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but and I asked the brother. I said, "Take a picture of me holding my finger on there," and he did. I lost the video for all of that, but you can believe it. I had my finger on the top of it. I could feel it. It was brass. And they may have a gold plating on it now. I don't know, but when I looked at it, it looked like brass to me.
Looks so pretty.
Ask me, how did I do it?
How did you do it? How did you do it? How did you do it?
All right. Because they were working on refurbishing. They were redoing
renovating. Was on the ground.
Renovating. Yeah.
Was on the ground before he.
It was in the basement. It was in the basement, and we were walking along. There were a whole lot of things laying around, and I saw it, and I said, "Is this the finial? Is this the very top of the dome?" And he said, "Yeah, it'll be up there later." I said, "Well, I'm going to touch it." And he said, "Why?" I said, "Because I want to tell people that I touched it. When you put it back up there, then they're going to try to figure out, how did I do that?" All right.
Yusuf, I did the same thing in Masjid Bilal. The crescent is still on the ground right now. And inshallah, very soon, we're going to go about 70 feet high.
I need to go touch it, right?
Oh, I carry it. Yes, I held it. Well, so I'm going to be saying the same thing.
Did you use rubber gloves, boy? Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, rabbil alameen. Anyway, now we do have a subject, though, and I would like to come to that subject right now and talk about why all of this is a big deal to us. Because behind me right now, this is across the street from the Blue Mosque. This is the oldest one that we were talking about just a minute ago. And I'd like to mention that, let me see if I can, yeah, here it is. Okay, now, this particular masjid was turned into a church. It was originally, my God, there we go. Yeah, here we go. Originally, this was a temple for worshiping idols and statues. Then it became a church. Then it became a masjid. And while I was there 20 years ago, they were turning it into a museum. And they were refurbishing it, and they were, I took a tour around, and I was photographing everything to bring back for our websites. And only a very few of those pictures actually survived. But one of them was of the picture on the wall in there of Jesus and Mary. And when I saw it right away, I said, I recognize that from the Christian churches. And they said, yes, this used to be a church, and they're taking off that covering that it was like a whitewash or a covering that was on there like plaster, thin plaster, and they were chipping it off so they could reveal it again, and they were turning it into a museum. And they wanted people to come and pay to see everything. And now it officially has been turned back into a masjid.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
Yep.
This is good news to hear, Sheikh Yusuf. And I heard it used to visited 3.5 million visitors every year. I mean, this place is very, very famous worldwide. You know, a historic place. And I heard the adhan on the internet today. A lot of people are excited to hear the adhan, and everyone was surrounding this masjid to hear the adhan loud again on that place.
Tell everybody what adhan means.
Adhan is the caller for prayer. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Today I had to do the adhan in Beaumont today, and the Beaumont Masjid used to be a church, and I had to do the adhan today. So the adhan is the call for prayer.
You know, this building that we're looking at right now, it has a long history. And actually, at one time, this temple that it was originally, people used to worship all kinds of statues and gods there. But when the Christians came in, they cleaned it up and they made it so that people just worship God. And then over the centuries, things started adjusting and coming up a little bit different. And I think it's a good chance for us to bring Richard in on this. Now, Richard, inshallah, if you don't mind, we're going to bring you in. I'm going to ask you to talk about this a little bit, about what happened in Christianity. Go back to the time of this building right here, this very famous. It's not Nicaea. This is actually in what's the name of the city?
Istanbul.
Istanbul. Yeah. Used to be Byzantium, but now it's Istanbul. Talk about that a little bit, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Well, that's a time when Christianity kind of took an interesting turn. In the council that met and came together, and the whole process of trying to determine what doctrines were going to stay, what doctrines were not going to stay, and it was, it was what it was. It was a point where the Trinity was officially canonized, so to speak, where they were looking for some manuscripts in which they could have an actual presentation of the Trinity. And so Erasmus was told to write it, and he did. He said, well, if you could find me a manuscript, I'll do that. And they found one for him. They probably found it in the back room somewhere where some scribe wrote it the night before, but nevertheless, they found that, and then became Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Very interesting, very interesting. It's so interesting to me, the churches that are turning into masjids, because that's happening here in the Detroit area quite a bit.
Yeah, it's happening pretty much around the country right now, because so many of the old churches don't really comply with a lot of the
well, they're all dying off, and they got a few folks left, and they just sell it. When I was working in Detroit, I was a professor at a Christian college at a university, and
you know what? Maybe Richard, maybe you better turn your mic off and turn it back on, because we're getting a lot of rattle out of it.
Okay.
And we're almost out of time. Dr. Sultan.
How's that?
Yeah, much better. Dr. Sultan, we've got you on the air right now. If you don't mind, talk about this thing behind me here. What does that mean to you?
Well, this means a mosque, a historical mosque, and I have visited it in Istanbul, and I prayed there.
Oh, mashallah. Actually, when I was there, they said you can pray, but we don't have an actual Juma here. We don't have actual speeches or anything like that, or we don't have formal gatherings or anything at that time. They didn't have the muaddin there, but they would allow me to stop and pray, but they said don't try to get other people to pray with you or anything like that, because they said this is really it's not set up for that now. It's a museum. So
I was talking about the Blue Mosque. Aren't they both of them close by?
They're right across the street from each other.
I'm sorry. I prayed Juma in the Blue Mosque.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and that was quite memorable how big of a place it is and how many people are over there for Juma prayer. It was very heart-lifting for me.
All right. Well, in the last part of our program, what I'd like to do right now is ask Dr. Adil if he would give us what our another one of our colors, if you don't mind.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you so much. Actually, this color today, you're talking about blue mosques, and ironically, I'm talking about the blue color.
Allah.
And this is, subhanAllah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned this once in the Quran. Remember, the other colors were mentioned 5, 7, but the blue is once. And this is reflecting on just the scene, in a 3D, movie right now. It reflects the colors of the faces of the disbelievers at the day of resurrection, from the severity of the stress of that day and fear and horror on that day. يَوْمَ يُنْفَخُ فِي الصُّورِ, the day that the blown on the trumpet. وَنَحْشُرُ الْمُجْرِمِينَ يَوْمَئِذٍ زُرُقًا. This is in Surah Taha, verses 102. So they will come in with their color blue, and they will be collected all together. Now, in medicine, blue, like almost there's no oxygen. So it's cyanosis, I understand, and this is the worst.
All right, we got to roll out, guys. We got to do it. They're telling us we are out of time. MashaAllah, MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Well, anyway, Zurka, when we come back tomorrow night, ask me about this subject, and I'll tell you what happened 100 years ago in this country about the ayah that you just said, 102 and 20. All right? So stay tuned, stay guided with... Yeah.
Hey kids, come join the fun and win prizes too. Guide Us TV is our voice all across America.
When you want it.
But now your voice can be heard too.
Now we
reciting
have
the
some websites,
Quran.
alhamdulillah.
Yes, kids recite Quran.
Who is
record,
Allah?
upload,
Maybe we'll even see somebody enter
share,
into
enjoy,
Islam.
and win
Why do we call him
big
Allah?
prizes.
One more
First
time,
prize is
everyone.
$1,000.
Okay, good.
And
These
the
are
next
the ones
10
we're going to be mailing out.
each get $100. And everyone who enters wins a gift. And it's all free.